Hey, welcome to In Production.
Welcome.
Formerly known as
Inside CRFTSHO.
Live. I think everything's working. You know, we put in new intros. We tried to do all the stuff to make it fancy because we were making this little brand shift from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Glad to have you guys on board, hanging out with us. If this is your very first time or you're very confused, let's run it down. So a while back, about 8 months ago, 6 months ago, somewhere in there, yeah. Jeff and I, the two Knuckle Turd Supremes, decided to sit down and start making a YouTube channel. It turns out that the community of people that we like to talk to online ended up talking back, and we just kept going, and it got crazier and crazier, yep. And thus formed this channel called CRFTSHO. When it first started, it was about our company, which is also called CRFTSHO, yep. And now it's become something so much bigger and different that we really just want to push the boundaries. Yeah. So what we want to do is a couple of things. So you saw our little teaser Casey Neistat video. Let me do it right.
Oh, there you go.
You saw our little teaser Casey Neistat video. I can't run anymore. You saw that one, and now we are kind of shifting away programming-wise. What we want to do is look at original programming, creating original content on a YouTube channel that is not just tech-driven stuff, which is what we've been doing, right? We wanted to break out, and I like Casey, by the way. We wanted to break out and do some original content, not just from us. We wanted to reach out to other people, other producers, creative content makers, and get them to unify under a brand, not so that we make money. I promise to you, if I could show you the stats, you would see we don't make very much money at all. There's no money in the YouTube side, but what we do believe is linking up really cool content, stories, narratives, documentaries, just pieces, camera tests, we don't care what it is, but eventually finding other brand sponsors to stand behind those and be like, hey, this is really cool, we want to sponsor this, and just putting it forward. So there's a little bit of money exchange, but the idea is just to build a different platform. So if you look at where TV is going, television's going to like on demand, everything's watched online, well, why aren't we curating our own from a micro level? And that's what we wanted to explore. We think it's important, we think it's a change. That said, all the great content that we have in the past and have going forward has been broken into several categories. You can see that reflected on the CRFTSHO YouTube page. So we have 3 different little sections that we're talking about. The first being the writer's room. Yep. That is anything pre-production driven. That is all about pre-pro, that whether you're a producer, a director, a DP, yep. An editor, a writer, anything.
Even a PA.
Even a PA.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we want to do a set etiquette video. Set etiquette, as we call it.
Yes.
Sitting down, so it's all about pre-production. The next category is the camera department.
Yep. Camera department is going to be basically a lot of what we've already done. It's all technical, camera-driven, lighting-driven, art department-driven, just anything that would happen on a actual production.
Yeah, so when you're in the production phase, it's also gear reviews, it's camera tests, it's all that kind of stuff. That falls into the camera department. The third category is the post house, which is just that. It's all about post-production, whether it's HDR workflows, non-HDR workflows.
Online, offline.
Online, online. Color grading.
Color grading, editing.
Yeah, anything you can think of. Delivery, like DCP. Or, best in code for YouTube. Somebody was asking that. It's pretty simple, but yeah, I mean, all of that kind of content is what we want to give in the post house. So that's a separate category inside of it. Yeah. And a lot of the content, hopefully, generated for those channels comes from the production process of the original content. So you can see the synergistic approach. Whether it's a commercial, a short film, a documentary, a branded piece, they should cross over and you can get a little extra value. So you can see how we made it, or how you made it, or how somebody else made it, and we can kind of break it down, maybe with interviews, whatever else, just to create original content that will inspire you to be creative and entertain you on the other end. So if you don't feel like being inspired or creative, you can just watch the entertainment value, because there's too many darn good creative people on this channel not to capitalize, I mean to take advantage, I mean to cherish that. So that's kind of what's going on right now. We're also going to have an HDR channel. It's not going to compete with the HDR channel on YouTube, which is a great channel. We're just going to put HDR content as we come across, camera tests, whatever it is. It's just kind of the free-for-all for HDR, because that's kind of the Wild West right now. And I don't
Very much so.
Yeah, it's pretty confusing, which there's a lot of news to go over. Yeah, exactly. There's a ton of news. So that's kind of what we meant by what was happening, where it was going. I'm going to pop up the comments here. Let's get those bad boys going.
Yeah, get your comments up.
And it's not working again.
Oh, you've already
There it goes. I fixed it. It's some weird thing. Like if I don't click that update, we will do it. Yeah, I saw that, Kevin, right? I love that. If we And we is like this community. If we are the new Film Riot, heck yeah, let's do it. Let's break boundaries. I don't care what camera you shoot on. I really want someone to like shoot something really. I mean, fine if you shoot on your phone is what I was going to say. I want somebody to shoot something really awesome on their phone without having like the 76 adapters on it. That's cool too, don't get me wrong, but I think it would be really awesome if people could start breaking boundaries on the phone. I think just live content, what's going on in your world, updating it, constantly building on it. What sets you off? Segments. All we do is take that and package it. That's all we have to do. And I think the more we do that, the bigger the brand grows. And suddenly, unique creators will get picked up. Maybe you don't have the time or energy or output to put into it or the way to edit it or whatever. I don't know. We haven't quite figured it all out either. We're just trying to make something where we can rally the community that Craft Show no longer, or it never has been, but really no longer on the outside world represents two dudes, beard and half beard. It becomes literally a community of everybody involved. I really want to follow a crew, like a 48-hour film fest crew. There's like a bunch of young, Lars, one of them. There's kids want to do a 48-hour film, and I just want to follow them just to show that, because I think it's fascinating to watch like noobs do that stuff. Not to troll them, maybe a little bit of Baby Seal Troll Force, but just at the same time, just to see how they approach problem solving. It's fascinating to me. Just as
how they don't approach it.
Or how they don't approach it. Either way it works. All right, so there. I hope that explains it. Does that explain it to you guys? We're super excited on Tuesdays to be here. It's always one of my favorite things. I look forward to Tuesdays.
I do too.
Yeah, they're super fun.
Exactly. And I would think it might be worth mentioning the armored car is part of what helped develop this.
Yeah, the armored car. The last week's show when you guys really inspired that idea. The whiteboard was simple and small, and it now has turned into a big-ass brain map. It's pretty out of control. It's crazy.
It's full. And we still have the phone number up there that we need to get rid of.
Yeah, we still need to get rid of that phone number. So on today's show, we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff. So first off, the biggest thing that people asked for when Jeff did the last log grade video in Davinci, a lot of community members asked for him to do in Premiere. So Jeff cursingly sat down and did it in Premiere.
Yeah, I not only cursingly did it, but I did it. I found 3 different ways to do it.
Right.
Which we'll go over a little bit on this show. Thursday, we definitely are going to do the way that I would do it in Premiere.
But we have a couple options we're going to show today with some before and afters. You can see all the looks side by side. It's pretty cool. We did some really cool content to put it together. So we want to talk about that. We want to talk about a huge camera announcement to some, which would be the RED Monstro sensor. We kind of wanted to talk about the RED Monstro, just give our thoughts on it and what little details we have. I'm sure some of the Pixel Peep Ninja Force. We got to come up with a better name for Pixel Peep, because now that's become a negative connotation, and I think it's important to know that data. So we need to be like Pix Ninjas or I don't know, something else.
There's definitely a positive and a negative to
Yeah, let's find another way to say it. Anyway, see if you guys probably know more than we do, but we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about HDR, because Atomos released a brand new update today for the Inferno and the
Ninja and Shogun Infernos.
Yeah, the Ninja and Shogun Infernos. Yeah. The Flame users like me and Jeff have to wait. Sumo users have to wait. Yeah, gotta wait 2 weeks.
Next week.
But it's a game changer in our opinion. We were working to get some footage. We were working to get some footage, but it is a little tricksy, and so we're dealing with some of that. So shout out to I'm trying to think of Billy Rock. I don't know if you like that or not, Billy Rock. I mean, I'll straight up plug you if you need me to, but I was just making a comment on it just because I know we had some challenges you and I did technically trying to get something to work. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about. We explained the goodbye element. I'm just looking at the board behind us. Oh, and also on Thursday, Batman is back. We got a message from him that just simply said, "Hey, I've got something to show you," or whatever his voice is. He sends it over to us and asks us to show. So also the return of Batman. He also talked about doing his own show, which would be Batman Reviews Movies. He was calling it Nerd Watch, like as instead of Night Watch. I don't know what that's going to be like. Who knows what that will be like. Yeah, so I know that he was trolling pretty hard on the Last Jedi trailer.
Yeah, he was pretty hard yesterday.
Yeah, he was trolling it pretty hard.
He was trolling it.
So, all right, well, let's do our tradition, our new tradition, which is drinking a beer, because that's what we do. Because Stone Cold said so.
/ old tradition.
So today we are drinking Syncopation from NOLA Brewing. Never had it. Just
neither one of us have.
It's a double dry hopped IPA.
Yeah. It's only 6% though.
It's only 6%. So. Keeps us sober on the air, unlike the Bourbon County bottle behind me. So anyway, we'll have a little tasty beer. while you guys hang out. And let's hit up the comments.
Yep.
Because this show has no real format. Dadgummit.
See, Huawei asked what I think of SpeedGrade. I used to like SpeedGrade a lot as Adobe's version, but from what I understand, Adobe is no longer updating SpeedGrade, and I think that's because of lumetri. But so far, what I've played with lumetri, I actually kind of like. It's just a different way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Tyler said, I'll shoot something cool on the iPhone X when I get it next month. Do it and send it over and let's look at it. Like, let's seriously. I think that'd be awesome. You guys know where to send it. We've said it a million times. Drew at craftshow.com, Jeff at craftshow.com. We need to make another one, I think. We need to make a 30
We need to make one for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it'll be yet. Maybe it's BSTF at craftshow.com. So that way, only really, truly community members have that address. I wouldn't want that to go to clients. They wouldn't know what that means.
Exactly.
That could go really bad. Just looking over these comments.
Yep.
Pix Ninja here. Hello from Dubai. Well, that's awesome. I don't know what time it is over there, but thank you for staying up late or getting up early or enjoying midday.
Exactly.
I don't quite know what time it is over there.
Yep.
Baby Seal Pixel Force. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I love it, Kevin.
That is brilliant.
So how do you guys think the 12 to 60 is the best lens for the GH? Oh, how come? Because that's the one we own?
Yeah, that would be that would be my answer.
I mean, if people ask me what lens I'm just gonna tell you the one that when we looked at all the specs, I'm gonna buy one lens for the GH5 because otherwise I've said it. I like to rent. So does Jeff.
Yeah.
That the 12 to 60 is the workhorse that I prefer, just personally. I don't use a speed booster. It's just a personal thing. So yeah, that's why I went with it.
Yeah, and it's a super annoying lens at the same time. The focus.
Yeah, I don't like the
when you do the slow.
Yeah, it can get a little crazy.
Yeah, it's got some problems, but.
Have you already talked about those LED work lights behind you? Well, good sir. I'm glad you noticed. These are called cat lights, and they've lit many a thing in our.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know about the cat light, this is our. There's a link that I will post. Please buy on the Amazon to help support whatever money we spend to give us all more content. That's for everyone. It goes right back in. Yep. But there's a link for it. I posted on. It's in all the videos now. But basically, beer money like a promise. Yep. Thank you, Sean. That's a big shout out to Sean Corbett, just throwing us some beer money of 10 bones. Yep. Thank you, sir. That will get us one beer because Jeff's expensive. Basically, these cat lights are battery powered. They're super bright. Let's hit the lens.
Ooh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, well, I'm looking at the wrong delay. The other thing that's great is they're waterproof, allegedly.
Allegedly.
And
we have not tested that.
Yeah, I'm not going to. And then on the back, they actually have your little indicator here. You can see they last a long time. We charge these up for the Hurricane.
And you can charge your phone off.
But you can also charge your phone or whatever else.
USB.
You want. Yeah, it's a USB charger on the back, so you can do whatever you need to do with it. They're great lights. We love them. We wish Cat would let us customize them a little bit if we could. Cat lights, if you're listening, or anybody that has some engineering skills.
Yeah.
I need to make a new lens for these, so if somebody will hit me up, I have the design for it. If somebody knows how to make lenses, because the throw on these is a little, you can see back here, see how round it is? It's a little narrow, and I'd like it to get wider, so it's just a way of figuring out how we can put a lens onto these. We used them in Heirloom. If you haven't seen Heirloom, head on over to the Panasonic Lumix channel or any of the Panasonic channels or wherever and see it. The cave scenes were lit with two of those and a big one that they had sent to us after we talked about their lights in the past because we kind of fell in love with them.
And then we actually used them inside Sloss as well.
Yeah, we did use them in Sloss,
around the fight area.
They're really great lights. They're really great lights. Yeah. That's all I can say about them.
They really are.
They fit. Speaking of really cool lights, I wasn't going to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
So the other side of this is the great part. By the way, I had an addiction, and a very unhealthy addiction to Pelican or hard cases. I like to put as much crap into them as I can. And
then we slowly crap onto them as we can.
We slowly add beer stickers and whatever else. Stickles. Beer stickers and whatnot to them. But in this case, this is a dual-purpose case. It's our battery case. Sorry about this being so close to your head there.
That's fun.
But what's great about it is we took it on a shoot recently. By the way, you could fit like 1 million cat lights in this.
No, you could even.
We took the Hive light.
That's just a 510 size.
Yeah, we took the Hive light with us. The Hive light has not just room to breathe inside.
Yep.
Not just room, it's got plenty of room. Oh, by the way, this is called Taint Stick.
Yeah.
If you ever get grip butt, this pro tip is the best taint stick in the world. Jeff, I'll give you $1 to lick it.
Nope.
Okay.
Not even add 3 zeros.
And of course
to
my
it.
hand sanitizer because I'm a germaphobe. But basically the cat light fit exactly into it. We have plenty of room. If I could get some really good micro stands that would support it and not make me look like a cheap son bitch, I'd do that. But I just wanted to share it with you guys because that cat light, the customer service came back, they fixed it. It's an awesome light.
Yeah.
But it's a great kit
service.
light. You could easily fit two, possibly 3 inside of it. I think it'd get a little tight. But you could almost get a 3 lighting kit in here. And think about it. It's dimmable. It's color change.
Yep.
It's color temp. It's going to match like an HMI. It'll work like just a regular tungsten. All in a 510. So you could fly this bad boy.
And then when you turn it off, you just grab it and go.
Yeah. Total carry-on beast. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how are we doing in the chat, skis? What do we got? Anything we're missing?
I had to go up here. We need to break out the British beers.
Yeah.
We will break some out, definitely.
Yep.
Batman needs his own email.
Batman needs his
at
own
craftshow.com. That would be actually a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Scott R. likes the 12 to 60.
Hey Trev, about those uncoated lenses, Heirloom was shot uncoated.
Completely.
They gave us Anjanu was nice enough to give us the choice between coated and uncoated.
Yep.
And we like vintage lenses as well, so we went with uncoated.
We did.
Of course, we got some backlash from it, from the not Baby Seal Troll Force, just the Baby Seals.
Yeah.
They came around and said some trash on it, but whatevs. It's a preference thing. At the end of the day, it's I liked the look. Jeff liked the look.
Yeah.
We watched a bunch of camera tests with that exact glass, and so where we landed, or I'm sorry, it was the longer version, but we ended up going with that. If you really pay attention, it looks good.
Yeah.
Panasonic is, according to all the emails exchanges, they're letting us regrade and distribute it for film festivals. Somebody just flushed the toilet.
Yeah.
At Rec 709, which I think it looks amazing in HDR, but the Rec 709, if you don't have HDR, is what I've seen of Jeff's grade is phenomenal. And it really just shows that, again, we like the Gh5, it's a good camera, but it really shows that as a workhorse camera, it holds up really, really, really well.
And the reason we're redoing it, so everybody knows, is we do love the HDR grade. It's just the SDR conversion of the HDR grade is not as promising as we hoped it would have been.
It's not as pristine.
Yeah, it's not.
It's good, it's just not as pristine.
It's good, yeah. It's good and it's worth watching.
Espen, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you again. I'm assuming that's a male name. If I'm wrong, I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Espen is here with us all the time.
I just ordered 3 cat lights. They're so cheap. Look, I love them, I'm telling you. And you can schmutz them. Throw some schmutz on there and go with it.
Tyler
taint stick.
was...
This is why I watch. I'm serious. That's called a taint stick.
It really is.
It's for grip butt. If you've ever had a, you know, if you work hard enough, then you can light a match with your butt cheeks while walking.
Or camera belly, or...
What's camera belly?
Basically the same thing, just the opposite end.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had camera belly.
That is usually with a spray, though. Just telling you, I've never used it.
You've never had camera belly?
Never had it, even though I do have the belly for it.
Jeff is fully equipped for camera belly,
I am,
but he's never made it.
No.
I am a taint stick master. In fact, I used to have to order it out of New York City because of all the walking people do there. In Alabama, everybody drives. They drive like, if they're going to walk 30 feet, they get in a car and drive.
They do.
They stop at a Starbucks on the way, get a double super map of Frappuccino, and slam that down.
Tyler Penrod asked for a cheap stand for the cat
Swamp
lights
Ass is the same
or whatever.
thing.
Yeah.
Scott R.
Tyler, for the cheap stand, basically the way that we've done it is a Mayfer clamp and C-stand so far, whenever we've had to clamp them.
I would actually say a Mayfer should be a kit piece.
Mayfer is definitely a kit piece.
Mayfers are awesome.
Yeah.
We don't even have one in here.
I honestly would say Mayfers, and with the amount of small gear, Cardellini clamps.
Yeah, Cardellini's are good too.
Yeah.
And those are relatively cheap. You can get...
Cardellini's are real cheap.
You get what you pay for if you buy the knockoffs.
Yeah,
I would get Matthews.
I would too.
Or somebody broader. Sand cheeks, yeah, there you go. We have not looked at, Sean Corbett's asking about the Intelli Light Cannon. We have not looked at it yet.
We have not.
Just because at this point, gear for gear, we have a ton. I mean, there's some other higher end stuff. Like, I really like the Sky panels. I'm a big fan of those. I like to use those.
Light panel companies stuff.
Yeah, Jeff wants these credit card ones. What are they called?
Yeah, those are Aladdin lights.
Cards,
They're little credit card size lights. Yeah.
Super bright. A lot of the guys, we have a lot of friends that work as riggers in Atlanta, I should say.
Yeah.
And so they are dealing with a lot of LEDs, and they just send us demos of like, check this out, so we get to see all this content. Yep, Mayfers all the way.
Yep.
All right, so let's do this. Let's jump into this first little doodad here.
Which is the first doodad today?
So this first segment here is going to be Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
The color log stuff. So we're going to try and be quiet during the one portion of it. I may even re-trigger it because I had to have the mics on, but we wanted to show it to you guys. So this first little bit up here, let's get rid of this stuff. There we go.
Get rid of that.
That's not how you do it. There it is.
Not there.
So this is the vlog, this is the log grade done in Davinci, and then it'll cut over to the grade done in Premiere. There you can see a jump there in that. And then Jeff will give us an explanation.
So this is Premiere, and we're going to open up the lumetri scopes. Then we're going to put lumetri color straight onto the clip. I know some people will do adjustment layers, and that's fine as well. For this right here, I'm just doing it on the clip. So we're going to do a basic color correction, or the basic corrections in lumetri. We're going to take the contrast and expand it out. Then we're going to go to highlights, and we're going to take that until it starts to clip. Then we're going to take that clipping and then bring it just below again. And then we're going to go to shadows. And then we will take the shadows down to do the exact same thing. It'll clip out, so you just raise it just above the clip out. And then we will go from those to the white and adjust the white level, the white point level, up just a little bit higher. And it starts to clip out a little bit, but not quite as much. So we bring it back down just a little bit more. And then we will do the same thing with the black point here. And that is going to be your basic expansion for the start of this setup, doing it in basic corrections. And then we will go down here to the color wheels, which I like to use, bring those midtones back up. So we're going to bring Drew back into roughly the 40 IRE section, and then we'll fine tune the darks again. And then we'll fine tune the highlights just a little bit more as well. And then once we've got all that situated, so that was looking pretty good right there. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to saturation. We'll fix saturation levels up here. Now I've got roughly about 135, 134 there. And that's a pretty decent looking skin tone and saturation throughout the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the shadows there, and we're just going to make it a little bit even. It was a little red heavy in the blacks, so we just correct that a little bit in the shadows. Alright, so here I'm making just the basic color correction, the actual correction color-wise. Take it more magenta off of the green and the yellow. And that's basically what it is for the basic correction right there. So next we will do curves.
Alright, there we go. If you hear this airplane taking off, that would be the old toilet. I don't hear it. Maybe it didn't work.
Yes, got R. I feel everything is more complicated in Premiere than in Resolve.
Yeah. So there you go, Jeff. Do you want to talk about that was just the basic sort of doodad there?
Yeah, I did that one basically because from what I've seen a lot of people, other people do in Premiere, they're doing it that way.
Right.
So that's why I was trying to do the basic correction, use that as the way of doing it. Still not personally my favorite way of doing it. You get to a point where things get a little murky on the ends, the black and the whites.
Right.
S-curve's a little bit better. And then, the other way that I'm going to do on Thursday is a slightly different way also.
So yeah, you can just basically see the difference between, this is the Davinci grade up here. You can see it in the skin tone, and then you see the shift. If you're looking at my face, that's where it's very quickly noticeable, is when you jump between those, and you can kind of see just the amount of work. Now, Jeff, you did say you could have done a bunch of extra masking and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the time to do that inside of lumetri against the time it took you inside of Davinci was a pretty big...
It's a lot bigger difference. And tracking in Premiere isn't nearly as good as Davinci.
Right.
So I'd have to do some multiple things with tracking.
Right. All right, so that's one way to, as we say in the South, skin a cat. That's a terrible statement, but that's just what we say in the South. That doesn't mean make it okay, I guess not.
No!
So that's one way to do it. The other way, which Jeff has here, is to kind of go through and use a series of S-curves. So what we're about to see here is, again, this is the log up front, and it'll cut to the next version just using S-curve in that space. You can see the shift there in the S-curve version of it. And here is Jeff.
Alright, so this one is going to be doing lumetri and Premiere again, but instead of basic correction, we're going to go to the curves to do the main expansion in this. So we're going to do the bottom end, move that high end up. I've got it clipped right there, so we need to take those clippings out. And don't want to clip anything on this curve. So there we go, and adjust the bottom end. Then we're going to move the mid-tones up just a little bit. So it's kind of a soft curve with heavy bottom end to it. And then we'll go to basic correction to do the small adjustments here. We'll do highlights up a little bit, then we'll take the shadows down, and then to do a little bit extra tweak, we will do the black point and the white point section. And try and get those up a little bit, and there we go. And then saturation, we're going to take the 135 like the other one. It's pretty decent saturation. If you start going a little higher, you'll start getting skin tone bleed, and the blues will start to bleed. Drew's blue shirt, that boat in the left-hand corner, that tealish blue color over there, those will start to bleed out a little bit. And so after that, we'll go to the color wheels here, and then we're going to do a little bit more fine tweaking. There's the bottom end. Take that upper end up just slightly more. There we go. And then we're going to correct the color on the bottom end, which is very red heavy at first. So we're going to, or blue heavy, sorry. And we're going to take it and we're going to mix that together so that it's a little bit more neutral. I'm going to take the midtones up slightly more. And then we're going to correct that green, take it more towards magenta, slightly magenta blue really. And then that is going to be lumetri color using curves instead of basic correction to get to the starting point.
Alright, there we go. So that's, can you kind of, I know you talked about it in there, but that's using just an S-curve sort of breakdown.
Yeah, starting with an S-curve because I find it's an easier way to break out the expansion quicker in lumetri. And then you're not having to mess with white point to white point as much, or the highlights or shadows settings.
Yeah, and you can kind of see the difference, again, looking at the face is where I noticed. I mean, you can even see it in the boathouse back there. I noticed some detail shift in that as well.
There is.
I find Davinci to handle it a lot better.
It handles the subtle sections of it much better to me.
Yeah.
And it's an easier keyer for the way I do key.
Yep.
On it.
So one last time, here is the Davinci version. Not really one last time because I got something really cool to show you. The Davinci version, the log version. And this is pretty fun what we have here. What you're going to see is a quadrant video. So what we have is basically the same footage. You have the wheels, which is what we're going to talk about on Thursday, which I feel like matches the closest to Davinci. And then you have basic and you have curves underneath. So you can kind of see all the footage somewhat in sync, mostly in sync. Running off of each other, you can kind of see how it works out.
Except for the Davinci one's the one that's way.
Yeah, the Davinci one's way off. I don't. Somebody changed the timing. Yeah. I'm looking at you, pal. Somebody changed the timing on that necessary gimmick.
Somebody cut out part of it.
Yeah. So there they are again, just kind of showing those. As you can kind of see, they line up and just stack up in that way. I went through and cut to each one of the four so you can see them close up. I'll let it play. If you guys feel like there's value in it, check it out. I think I just accidentally hit the space bar a second ago. My bad!
Definitely.
One day we'll have like an engineer sitting behind the box. So that's just Jeff's approach to looking at it from a Premiere standpoint.
Yeah.
What would you say, to somebody that is just working in Premiere, being mindful? What tips, tricks, what do you got?
I'd make sure not to clip anything because it looks like you can get some washed out spaces in the highlights, especially if you're looking at those images. The mass in the background that goes all the way up into the sky, the ropes that are coming off the back end of it kind of get lost in the Premiere ones compared to the Davinci one. I'd try to keep it safe, not crush or blow out too much stuff. Yeah, that'd be my biggest thing. So pretty
generic answer from Jeff Worley, the bearded colorist.
Yeah.
But solid nonetheless. If you're dealing with that, that is what you have to deal with. Am I out of focus? I can't. Maybe I'm drunk.
I don't
know. Am I out of focus?
You could be drunk.
I think my eyes are tired of staring. I'm a single parent. I've been that way now for quite a while. I don't even know if
Yeah.
my wife is watching anymore. I don't even know if she cares.
I hope she's not watching right now.
No,
Unless
they're not on
on
set.
lunch.
No, their call is at 6 p.m.
Oh, then yes. If
Yeah,
Sarah,
they
if you're
got
watching, hi
terrible
Sarah.
So yeah, we have Sarah's on a Fancy Pants movie with still an unnamed. We gave
Yeah.
a hint last time, but
Some unnamed people.
yeah. So my kids are running me ragged.
Yeah.
So which is the other reason why the content fluctuates is because we want to generate more narrative driven pieces and all that.
Mhm.
We may even back off a little bit on some of the tech side, meaning instead of doing all of this stuff in multiple videos a week, we may just once we get enough content, I'd like to get it where the live show has all that great content with timestamps. You can go back and review what you want.
Yeah.
And it's a little more fluid for me and Jeff.
That'd be awesome.
Because we are getting busy. We have clients.
Yeah.
We had to shoot the other day, and the clients are kind of stacking up on us. So we have to be very cautious of time management.
Mhm.
And that's why we want the community to be the community and help pitch in. Like, whatever.
Exactly.
The only thing that we don't want to do is put a lot of really foul language stuff without some kind of notice on the front. But, whatever.
Yeah, we try to keep it clean, except for when Drew gets drunk.
You're the one with the F-bomb problem.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever done it on live, though. I don't think I have.
I think I almost did. Did I do it? That video cannot be seen because the company
Exactly.
blocked
That
us.
one, yeah,
So
that one.
the Burnt
one
Up
that
Baby
might have
Control
happened,
Force,
yeah.
the origin story, that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience that can never be done again.
Yeah, to go back in here, Russ Bradbury is correct. Resolve 14 and Trevor. Resolve 14 is out of beta now. It is a good deal, $300 for the full version.
And you're going to need the full version if you want to finish in
If you want to finish HDR.
in HDR and true 4K.
Yeah.
You can do UHD 4K.
You can do UHD.
You can't do true
I don't think
4K.
you can do over 4K, definitely.
Yeah.
4K used to be out. And noise reduction, Davinci's noise reduction, which is, yeah.
We still like neat.
Yeah.
Neat for noise reduction.
Interested to see other software than DaVinci. What kind of stuff would you like to see, Espen? I could do Basslight, and I can do a Scratch one as well.
Yeah, the other guy is Pinner's not here today, but Sean Pinner, who was with us last week,
Pinner's a Basslight dude.
He's a major Basslight player.
I could do either one of those. I have never touched.
Sailing Rewind. I'm telling you, bro. I know about you. I've talked to you. Mm-hmm. I get it.
I've never used synthetic aperture, so I will definitely check that out.
You kill me, bro. You kill me. Sailing Rewind with the hate. All right, so the next thing, we have a new segment, or not a new segment, a new old segment that we like to call Troll. Okay, so recently in one of the Facebook Gh5 groups that we happened to swing by, I saw a very nice fellow compliment, fellow YouTube content creator, and just all-around good guy, Ichidomo. Somebody else posted the video. Ichi didn't even post it. He's not shameless like we are. We're shameless. I got thick skin. I got ripped apart in the Hollywood Reporter. Ain't gonna affect me, I promise. I've been more destroyed than anybody on earth. Doesn't bother me. However, somebody posted a video, and it was an anamorphic test video that he did, which was gorgeous. It looked really great. I don't remember what lens. I don't really even care. I like the guy, and I like his work. I think he puts in effort to whatever he does.
He does.
Even on a quick side, he's just a very knowledgeable guy, so I enjoy watching his content when he posts it, which is very infrequently. He's not about, like, subs and all that junk.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very humble, awesome guy. Anyway, posted it. I'm not going to give the guy's name who said it, but my favorite troll quote came from, "Barrel distortion threw me right out, looks like a GoPro." Now, that's actually not a terrible statement at the end of the day. It's not awful. It's when it suddenly goes from that to just not even being polite about it. Like, the general thing is if he just would have said, "The barrel distortion threw me right out," leave it alone. The troll in that statement is, "Looks like a GoPro." So that's somebody attacking somebody else's creativity by saying it's a GoPro. Hell, man, I've seen GoPro shots in bigger pictures that, like...
They look amazing.
Yeah, nobody knows the difference, but it felt like a little bit of an aggressive stance, and it's somebody just trying to, position themselves over another, which is one of the most frustrating sides of that group, which is why I love the people in it. The majority of them are 99.9% awesome, but the best group is still my favorite group, which I'm not going to shamelessly plug again because something happened today, and I feel like that would be inappropriate. But for those of you that know which is my favorite group, then you'll know. If you're a Gh5 user, if you're just a RED user, there's a billion cool groups that I'm a part of in that space. There's lots of stuff you can go talk about. However, I'm looking for creativity. This person destroyed it. So, with that said, to make a segue, that exact same video, and that becomes part of our newest segment called That's What She Said, which is our shamelessly plugging of another individual segment, and that segment is going to belong to Mr. Ichidomo himself. That is a crap graphic. Looking at it now, I suddenly realized, let's see if I can move it around. Let's put it right here.
I'm going to have to take the beer away from Drew.
There. Ha! Fixed it. So, yeah, if you have a chance, check out his channel. Again, he's not a sub-whore. He just puts out really great content. I did get permission to do that. Ichi's really talented. He's a good dude. Yeah, I see him in the chat room. If you have a chance, shout out with him. I don't know why I didn't bring the chat up, but it's back up now.
Yeah.
If you have a chance, check him out and check out his channel. I'll post the link for it. Really wonderful fellow. So, let's see what's going on in chat land, if there's anything awesome happening over there, and then we will kick over to our next story, which is going to be about the RED Monstro.
Yeah.
What's going on in chat land, Mr.
Tyler asks, what exactly is the definition of a baby seal?
A baby seal? Oh, you just want me to reenact that one more time? I see what's going on here. Are you working with Sailing Rewind? Do you guys have like a little secret chat room of, let's see if we can send Drew over the edge? See what's happening. Yeah. You guys know what a baby seal is. You've seen it. They're all full in those pieces.
Espen, the difference between neat video and noise reduction Davinci. How can I say this nicely? Neat works, Davinci doesn't.
Wow, that was good.
Was that nice?
That was great.
Okay.
It was blunt,
it's neat just has a better. It does a better job at going pixel by pixel compared to noise reduction. Davinci noise reduction seems like a 420 kind of thing, and neat seems like a 444 where it samples straight pixel to pixel. So neat just works better for me.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Ichi's great, man. We love his work. We're very flattered that he hung out with us a long time ago. He was an early adopter. And
very early with us, yes.
Yeah. So it was always nice to see somebody put in that much time and effort. One day I'm going to snap him up and then throw him on a real set and put him to work, because I think he's pretty much there as a DP. I would hire him without question.
Yeah. Print screen the Baby Seal Troll Force. Baby Seal Troll Force, it's coming.
Yeah, it's all that stuff's coming out. I swear to God, we're going to pop out this Patreon thing so it supports not just us, but the entire community, so we can get it done right and get gear and do things and shoot narratives and shoot originals and shoot shorts and camera test and whatever else that we want to do to create cool content, all housed in a place to make it easy, because I'm lazy and tired of searching YouTube when I want to find certain things. You know, I don't know. I'm just trying to make it better for everybody. I'm trying to make everyone on the side of it.
Before we start to the next thing, Adrian is saying, trying to work out anamorphic shooting on Gh5, but the clips come green. Want to bring it in Premiere Pro. Get that away, you're going to have to transcode.
Yep. We like Edit Ready. Some people don't. Edit Ready's our jam. It saves us a bunch of time. We're
so much quicker than we used to be MIDI encode people. But yeah, if you transcode it and bring it back in, it'll be fine. It's something with the HEVC.
Well, it's not totally fine. It still struggles.
Yeah, it still struggles.
The 6K struggles.
Yeah, it's the HEVC.
Yeah, but it's from the 6K. I think the 4K is you can do all eyes. So
yeah, you can.
I'd still transcode it anyway, but that's just a personal thing. Everyone comes back and wants to go to the negative. You're not really going to see that much of a diminishing return on your transcode. You just won't. It's not there. It's just not going to happen. It's not the worst thing. That crash show, I meant, like, if I had to describe what Baby Seal Troll Force is to a friend, how would I describe a Baby Seal? I'd definitely love to see another reaction. All right, this is it. So if you're talking to someone and about anything in life, I don't care if it's sports, I don't care if they're politics, the people that whine and complain and just, they're like baby seals just begging for a fish. There you go. I hope you make a GIF of it and put terrible things in my mouth. How's that? That deserves...
That's what she said.
It won't go fast enough.
Are you still working on stuff?
No. So let's switch over and let's look at this Monstro. I'm just going to keep the chats up for it because what do we care? So this is a little video that popped up this week on the new RED Monstro 8K gimmick. And it looks like brand new. It's $80,000. So whoop-de-doo. If you got the cash, good for you. but this is the new 8K sensor that they're putting out. It allegedly has 2/3 of a stop increase, which puts it around 17 plus stops of dynamic range, which is a good bit. That's a lot of stuff. And more importantly, has less noise than a Dragon, which I think is very important, because that is something that we've dealt with a good bit. So that camera drops. It's pretty high end. It's a new piece. It's rolling out now. Now they put out some footage. I'm going to throw it up here. Again, these are somewhat YouTube rips, but they did put out some footage that was shot on it, and we can pixel peep it if we want to, or we can leave our friends behind, because we don't pixel peep with girls behind. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so this is some of the footage they actually shot with it. This is with the RED Monstro. All I can think of is Monstar from Silverhawks. He was the bad guy. Probably dated myself on that. You kids probably don't know what Silverhawks are. Anyway, the footage looks really good. It's interesting. But I mean, I don't want to critique the grade or the shooter stuff. No, it's just, there's nothing in it that screams anything out of the ordinary to me. I've seen a lot of this well, that low light stuff looks pretty good, but I've seen a lot of this kind of stuff from other cameras, so it's not necessarily, until I get my hands on it, I can't look at a promo video and make a judgment on any camera. It's the same kind of thing that happened with the EVA 1. I think the EVA 1's way more powerful than people realize, but when that video dropped, it just was a bunch of like pixel peep trolling for no apparent reason whatsoever. It's a great looking camera, and the very camera's a super solid camera. So, all right, so that's the RED Weapon Monstro. What do you guys think about it? You know, post in the comments if you want to have a further discussion. I'd love to talk about it as well. We're going to try and rent one. I still would like to rent a weapon 8K. We never even did that, or a helium, I should say.
Yeah, we haven't.
Just because we, at that point, Alexa is a better option in some cases, and we already own a RED, or a couple of them. So for us, it makes more sense to use what we have and save some money. But I'd like to experiment with it.
Yeah, we might have some stuff coming up that way as well.
Yeah.
As a possible teaser, non-teaser.
Teaser, non-teaser.
We haven't decided yet.
Yeah, exactly. But again, with the Patreon side, hopefully we can throw Bunny in and figure out how to do it. And then, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't always have to be us either. I mean, if we can figure out how to get the insurance to cover it, then our insurance we can hire you to shoot the test, and then our insurance will cover it, unless you try and steal it, at which point we will come after you.
Hunt you down like a baby seal.
I'll hunt you down like a baby seal. That sounds terrible.
It does. I didn't know that when I said it.
Anybody got any thoughts on it? Nope. Nobody cares. Great. Moving on then. No one impressed by the Monstro, at least what I can see. Maybe I'm missing comments again. Oh, there we go. Scott R., I'm sorry, brother. Getting divorced is never fun. I can't even imagine.
Matters what part of the divorce you're in and who it's to.
Fair enough. Scott R., going through it.
Yeah.
It's all right, champ.
Yeah.
Looks like some nice glass on the RED camera. Yeah, it does. Some really
it probably was some really nice glass, yeah.
That VistaVision. Yeah, you know, I would actually, looking at the price for it, I would rather rent the VistaVision, or what's the up?
Rent a 65?
Or 65, or Alexa 65, XTL, XLT, whatever it is.
You know, Alexa 65.
Just 65.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know all the model numbers. I'm not into that space. Always wanted a RED. I wouldn't buy a RED if I were you. I honestly wouldn't. I think it'd be, if you have a project coming up, I mean, if you have the expendable income, do whatever you want. But if you have a project coming up, oh, that's a new song. I'll have to add that to my mix of stuff. Okay, the post-divorce was fun, Scott R. says. I almost said Scott Robinson. If that is Scott Robinson, that's
not
weird.
Remember, we've already done that.
Freetail Evoke, I don't know what's going on. That's a conversation I got left behind.
Yeah.
So we want to do some, we're going to do some RED HDR. It's going to go up on the RED HDR channel. Speaking of HDR, let's talk about something really crazy and exciting. This goes comment-free. Bye-bye. Something, maybe.
What, huh?
Now. So, Atomos drops a new firmware update for the Shogun Inferno and the Ninja Inferno.
There are two Infernos.
Which does a whole lot of things, a lot of extra features and blah, 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 blah. But the one that's most fascinating to me, to us, to a group of us, is the HDR functionality. The new Atomos firmware for the Shogun Inferno and the Ninja, Flame Ninja Inferno, sorry. The Ninja Inferno and Shogun Inferno is that it actually allows you to record, allegedly, in HDR, which means we were right with all of our conversations that the metadata tagging scenario that was not working. It now supposedly tags the content with the correct metadata, making it YouTube friendly. But this is where it's really crazy that we want to talk about. So consider this. Let's say you're using a Gh5, because again, the Shogun is not proprietary to any camera. So you can do it off your RED or an Alexa. I mean, you can do it off anything. Yep. But let's just use the Gh5 workflow real quick, because we know we've done HDR on it. Let's talk about it. So you get your Shogun or Ninja Inferno, you have this new update. What is mind-blowing from a workflow standpoint is you're shooting in log, writing to the cards. Now, this does not count for 4K 60, it won't work. But just if you're shooting 4K anamorphic or 4K all-eye or any of that other stuff, you're recording to the card at Vlog to the card, right? If your cards work.
Logging it to the card.
Panasonic cards for the win. Or what do we call them? Panavision cards for the win. So you're recording the card, and at the same time, you're recording a DNX HR or ProRes 444, whatever, the two flavors. There's only two flavors that work. It has to be ProRes 444. It has to be Avid DNX HQR PQZ ZZY XMZ.
DNX HR HQX.
Right. Those two flavors are the only two that carry the metadata tag so far. So you're recording to both at the same time. So your offline online is set up in a very interesting way. So you could take those vlog clips and edit because they're going to match your DNX clips. And you crunch all those together and you bounce them out of Resolve, because Davinci right now is the only confirmed version that carries the metadata tags. Now, it could change that now that the tags are in there. Premiere might keep the tags in. I don't know how that works. It could. It might. But let's just say the basic workflow. So you edit in Premiere, send an XML out, import the XML into Davinci, reconnect, poof, done. If you want to do more grading, great. But if not, then let's just say you just wanted to get it up there. It's pretty easy to do that workflow to get it up and get going with it. Now, we would probably go from the logs. But the fact that you could have these offline onlines that quickly is pretty mind-blowing. Now, there's a bunch of questions we have because we haven't physically touched it, because we have a Shogun Flame. And so the release date on this firmware update is it did the Inferno series first.
Sumo's next week.
The Sumo's next week. And then finally, the Flame is the last week of it. We're waiting for it. We would love to get our hands on it and play with it. Just to monkey with it. Because we know what it's going to do to our workflow. It's going to shift some things around. I think there's a lot of really cool ideas that might work, meaning you might be able to find ways of hacking it in a simple way to send a 709 signal that's been graded into it and apply a LUT to it and suddenly kind of make a real-time HDR machine, which nobody's going to talk about but me because I'm a nerd and like workarounds. So there's a lot of different really interesting angles that Atomos has given us, and frankly, it's the other reason why I say that is the best monitor on the planet. I still believe and stand behind that it is the best on the planet, because now all of a sudden you've got all your scopes, you've got timecode lock, you've got HDMI in if you need it, or SDI in if you're on the bigger level like we want. You've got the ability to record sound to it if you needed to. It uses SSD drives, which are cheaper, and it does HDR, not just monitoring, but HDR, it aids in HDR creation. So suddenly, for $1,000 or so, you are blowing everybody else out of the water. You're getting multiple uses. And when you grow up past the Gh5, let's say you move on, or if you're a working DP or camera op or anything, director, you can bring that with you, plug it in, and suddenly you have your own little device that's working for you. I think, to me, that's the best deal on the planet. The batteries are cheap to run. It runs off of P-tap, D-tap, C-tap. We've proven that time and time again.
Our audio is out of sync.
Our audio is out of sync?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do anything about that. That's YouTube's problem. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happening with YouTube. Got us out of sync. Kung Fu. That's for you, Sailing Rewind.
And BB is saying that I should take Rogaine for my hairline.
Well, that was nice of him.
Yeah. I'm not going to do it.
Why would they? That's just a random statement.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like we got a little troll inside the little space there. BB. BB-8.
Scott likes
BB hate. BB hate. How about that? All right, so yeah, that's kind of a big news for us. I mean, we're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, does the Inferno have an anamorphic mode? It does have a D-squeeze in it.
Yeah, it does. So again, you wouldn't be getting the true anamorphic. You'd have it to your camera, and you might still use that workflow. Yeah. But the point is, you would have a D-squeeze in. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember.
There's a D-squeeze in it.
No, there is. But is it recording D-squeezed?
It was not.
Yeah. So yeah, you can record your 4:3 image. Yeah. So that means anamorphic HDR is a lot easier. Yeah. So again, not at 6K. It doesn't fix the 6K issue.
It does.
That's camera side. Yeah. That's a Gh5 issue.
It's a Gh5 thing. The Atomos should be able to take the 6K anamorphic.
What do you mean?
If it was fixed inside of a camera, not Gh5, just any camera. That was.
Oh yeah, it should be alright.
It should be able to take it.
Well, we don't know. I mean,
I don't know if it'll record it at 6K. It'll probably record it at 4K
right.
because that's the limitations they have set. But
yeah,
you should be able to monitor it.
Yeah.
Hopefully someday they will make a camera at some point that will output the 6K.
Yeah. For external, but I mean at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it, once you go to a bigger source, you don't really want that potential noise in the channel.
No, it's very true.
I mean even external recorders with Alexas are a whole nother beast. I see a lighting question. Adrian, I am shooting a comedy show in a pretty dark room. Thinking of lighting it up with 2 icon lights. I don't know what those are. You'd have to send me the model. What's the wattage?
Yeah.
To flood the room and location lights placed for their events. Suggestions for stage lighting. So is it by comedy show you mean like quite literally an on-stage show? Do you need to see the audience? Because that's going to be a little bit tricksy because you're going to have so much light on stage. The variation in the two is going to cause a little bit of kickback. If not, just bring in, you need backlight behind the audience so it's just lighting the back of their heads unless your job is to film them facing forward, which is probably going to be kind of distracting for the performers on stage. You know, part of the great thing about live show and when you're on stage is the darkness kind of helps hide away people's faces. I mean, that's just what I've done. Just kind of in that space. Dude, Black Box Secrets, BB, you're old school, bro. BB8, I'll take off the H. You're back, BB8, you're back.
And by the way, he's the one that called you a troll.
I call everybody a troll.
I might have called somebody
anybody that questions anything, I troll. Ask Will.
Pretty much.
Me and Will got at it. Now we're pals.
Very much pals.
Billy Rock. Trevor, yes, you get 6K GHI mini SDI port. Yes, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Shooting with 3 GH5s, aperture aimed at a 4. Yeah, so I would probably not be afraid of 800 if you needed it.
Yeah, not with the GH5.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it. You're probably going to have to do a little bit of noise or neat, but
maybe
you do that with a RED at that point. I think your PlayStation shut off.
Yeah, it just finally shut off.
We've been playing Battlefront 2. Any gamers? Battlefront 2? It's pretty fun. Thinking about changing my. You're the beard color on PlayStation.
I am. It's very easy.
I didn't even ask you if I could do that.
I know.
Now you're gonna get a.
No, that's fun. I don't.
You're on PS4.
Yeah, beard color or the beard color.
I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna change it to Craft Show.
I branded my whole thing completely. When I
you're like a Honda brand. That's why if you shaved your beard, that would be it. That'd be the end of it.
Yeah, my whole brand goes away.
Yeah.
And then I guess I just go off into retirement. Become a Walmart greeter or something.
Yeah, that seems good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very excited about the 240.
Super excited about it.
I watched the video. I mean, I skipped through it a little bit. They're very excited about the 240, which I think is cool. It is really cool, an external recorder doing 240. But I just, slow-mo is not like, I guess, this is going to sound arrogant, so pardon the arrogant moment, but we've had slow-mo of that capability for a long time with Reds that it's never been something that, like I got it out of my system really quickly. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah. And I don't know what I would use 240 for that much. I feel like it's too slow. I think once I did 180 and then pushed it to 240 with a bunch of work in post for an FX shot. I would show it to you guys, but every time I show any clip from that movie that I own, they kill it. But like a guy brings up a knife, and I wanted to ramp all the way up to standstill because then our hero kind of like jumps worlds. So it's like he brings up and it freezes. So it's like this crazy sort of gimmick. What are you doing?
I'm taking a picture since you deleted my screenshots.
No, I delete Jeff's screenshots. Contisa, yeah, that's cool. I'm Delta underscore Hotel, which is Drew Hall. Just Delta underscore Hotel. Jeff is The Beard Color.
Yeah.
We're on the PlayStation Network. We like to play games. It's kind of our jam.
We do.
Yeah, I mean that's
sometimes stupid games, sometimes fun games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, maybe even wrestling games because we like it.
Yeah, that's coming up.
We watch wrestling. That's what we do. Yeah, I guess that's more or less where we're going with everything. We mentioned everything we wanted to do. We've explained goodbye. We got the Red Monstro.
We explained Batman.
That's what she said in there.
Thing.
I know what the other thing was.
What's the other thing you want to do?
So I wanted to get you guys feedback on the other title. So the first title, if you remember, kind of sounded... Oh. Let's fix it first. Let me fix something. The first title sounded a little bit... I think I fixed it. Sounded a little bit like this, if you remember. It's kind of got that rock and roll, weird, like, Ministry, if they were still around, sort of, kind of feel to it. It reminds me of Cell Dweller, I think. The other one is this track, and I just want to see which one you folks prefer from a music standpoint. So here's the alt track. Alright, so that is the alt track of the two. I don't know which one is better. If you have an opinion, throw it in the comments.
Yeah.
Peter Kent is slowly becoming my hero. You are a WWE guy. That's awesome, Peter Kent. Clark, as we call you on the show.
YouTube sync is still out.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about the YouTube sync.
I
mean, that's not my business. That's YouTube's business. YouTube's business.
Play them backwards, they'll sound great.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds like it almost sounds like a sailing rewind. Russ Bradbury's coming back in. He's coming back in with a little sting in the space here, making it happen. Russ with the jokes. Second track, the newer one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's back and forth. I like the first one, rock and roll, bad 90s corporate music video. Now that is Scott Robinson. I know for a fact that's the real Scott Robinson. That is the matter of fact real Scott Robinson, because there is nobody else. Scott, can you confirm? Can you confirm what we call this little area that me and Jeff are sitting in? Scott Robinson, I know that's you. I'm due a phone call, dude. I'm due a phone call. And the only way I get to talk to you is one-sided through YouTube. It's just like when you live next door to me, champ.
The only way you can do it then is
fancy pants.
Go hang out at Avenue Pub.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll carry you out again.
We know what happens, yeah. So true client story, advertising world. We had a Tone Change. You guys remember Tone Change? If you've been watching the show, Tone Change was advertising client we had. He is now gone. Oh, it is him! Hey, buddy! There's another guy in here named Scott R, and we thought it was you for a while because he's very snarky. But then we finally asked him and realized it wasn't you. That's fantastic. Scott Robinson. The real Scott Robinson, the one we've talked about, is now on the show. Yeah. That's amazing. So speaking of Scott Robinson, maybe one of the last times I saw him.
The last time I saw him.
Yeah, that might be the last time. We went to New Orleans for a job, I won't say which job, to protect the innocent, and Tone Change proceeds to just unleash the beast on drinking at a place called Avenue Pub, which, by the way, is maybe the best bar in New Orleans. Super good food, amazing good drinks, really good whiskey,
really good
and
clientele.
really close to Scott Robinson's house. But that didn't matter that night because I just stumbled around, apparently. So I order one drink, I get a beer, and then he just proceeds to advertising agency us and keep bringing out drinks. Well, the first beer I ordered, because I'm a beer snob, was a really high gravity, unfiltered double IPA. Yeah, it was like a 12%er. Yeah. Well, after that one, I had a burger, and I wasn't thinking about it, and I drank another one. The beer kept coming. Then expensive whiskey came out. Then cigars came out. Yeah. And by the time we were done, I literally fell down a flight of stairs, caught by Jeff, into a minivan, and the last thing I remember from that point forward, which this is terrible, was about 1:30 in the morning. You guys have seen me go off on my rants. Well, this was like...
It was a good 3-4
hours. Yeah, I thought it was 20 minutes. 3 hours of ranting. My voice was hoarse in the morning. I literally went off on every aspect of creative stuff. I mean, for 3 hours, yelling and screaming. The people next door are probably super mad. It wasn't like a drunken rage. It was like, seriously, my rant's gone to 11. It wasn't a rage. I wasn't mad at anybody. I was like being very passionate, but it was like over the top. I think I smashed my fist in the tables. I mean, it was the full Dwight from The Office moments. It was absolutely.
And I gave you about a gallon of water.
And I drank, but it still did not save my hangover.
Nope.
Lighting a room when you have a hangover and there's a live band playing is not top 10.
With like 1.2s or larger lights.
Yeah, we had big boy lights too.
Yeah, not fun.
Top 10. Jeremy Sandy was there.
Yep.
It was all happening.
Not acting.
Yeah, I know Ministry's still around. In fact, one of the members of Ministry lives here.
Yeah.
Brian he's a good friend. He's actually supplied music to us before and some stuff. Very good friend. Very talented guy. I have been talking about making a show, the other Scott R, called Unpopular Pinion, in which pinion is when you clip the wings of a bird. When I go through and just destroy everything that I hate, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Quick example.
Me too.
Here's a short episode of Unpopular Opinion featuring Drew. How is Mad Max Fury Road a feminist celebratory film when the entire movie, a woman drives aimlessly into the desert only to reach her goal, in which there is no goal, at which point she decides to aimlessly drive further into the desert to die? Who saves her? Mad Max. How is that a feminist movie? Seriously, explain it to me. There is no reason. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman? Great. You have a super smoking hot Gal Gadot in which everyone around her must speak with the same accent she has. Doesn't matter because she's hot, but that's fact. Why did everyone have that accent? I don't understand. And furthermore, how does she speak 100 languages and not know the word secretary? I'm not just ripping off Honest Trailers. This is crap I wrote down and then watched Honest Trailers, I promise. And lastly, I feel like they took a movie and they're like, you know what, I got an idea. Let's just write a dude, right? Just write a dude, and when we're done, just throw a chick in there and we're good, bro. That film was probably produced by Harvey Fierstein. Nope, he's the good one. Harvey Weinstein. Do you guys, does anybody know who Troy Duffy is? Director of Boondock Saints? And this is the last thing I'm going to say about him. This is the end of Drew Unpopular Opinion. You think Troy Duffy was right all those years ago when he ripped into Harvey? Because looking back on it now,
yeah, probably.
It's a pretty interesting story.
Yeah.
Just a little telling. All right. Well, that's done with that.
Yeah.
Mad Max was crap. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought Weinstein was okay to say now. I see everybody else hating on Weinstein and Scott Robinson. I thought Weinstein was the bad Weinstein. I don't know. I'm just ranting. I said Firestein.
I think it's just because you're going on a rant.
Yeah, it is a rant.
So.
Yeah.
You might become the next Weinstein, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, feminist movies, one was made in the 70s.
Yeah, look, Alien is still the greatest feminist film of all time. Now, if I were really in the corner, Scott Robinson, you know what I would say next. But I'm not. This is a family show. Family show.
Very, very family show.
Well, mostly.
Yeah.
That was family, as you can get.
We'll need more beer to become a non-family show.
Yeah, that drunken episode.
It was great.
It's a very focused show. Hey, man, we followed a schedule this time. We're right at an hour.
We did, and then we got to the end of it. Like, what the second?
I thought we did pretty good. We ran exactly an hour.
It's a little hotter in this room today, too.
It is a little hotter. It is a little hotter.
It is.
All right, well, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Not Inside Craft Show. Thanks for watching. In production. The zany live show of a couple of the Knuckle Turds at Inside Craft Show. Family show. It is. It's a family show. We got all of you guys. The community is the family. That's what we mean. It's legal.
Exactly.
Weinstein. I don't even know anymore.
Weinstein.
All right, we're going to roll it out. Thanks. We will stay on for comments.
We will.
If you want to have a chat ski, it's kind of like your professor's office. Oh, wait a second. Is there adults only section of the YouTube show? Yes.
We will make it, Scott.
Scott, only if you agree to be on it. I'm serious.
Oh, please.
You have to be on it.
Yes.
Just so you guys know, the corner is like a very terrible place where
Can we do it in the... Well, it's not really the...
Basically, if Deadpool had a talk show, that's what the corner was. It was the most insensitive, brilliant little moment in time of who could one-up the other with terrible, non-racial things, but seriously just terrible things.
You know where it could be done?
Yeah.
Still exists?
Yeah.
Kind of. It's changed. Right outside.
Oh yeah, you could go to the smoking corner.
Smoking corner.
Smoking corner could still exist. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Yes,
Have a great day. Scott Robinson, I expect a phone call.
He does.
Here are the... Whatever. Stay for the comments. It's like your professor. It's like, seriously, it's like going to your professor's office, but we're not professors.
At all.
No. You used to be called the professor.
I used to be called the professor, yes.
Yeah. All right, we're out. See you later. Maybe. I hit the wrong button.
He's already screwed it.